Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Tweet Talk TV. Oh, here we are live. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Tweet Talk TV. My name is Christopher Wotecki. Thank you, thank you. And I'm here with Coach, what are we saying? Prime Coach Perry. That's our new thing for you. Prime Coach Perry. How you doing, Damon?
I'm doing very well.
Very well.
We're in the process of moving. Last time we've been speaking, and so right now I'm at Grandma's house. You can see pictures of us on the wall. And we got a house yesterday, so we're going to be moving yesterday, today, and the next day. So.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Congratulations. Yeah. So, moving is a bitch. Good luck with that. Yeah. You'll have to, you know what, I would love, I'm just going to say here, it's like you'll have to give us a, some sort of a, top 10 things to avoid when moving or something.
Oh my God, yeah, I could give that to you in a heartbeat, yeah.
I can
what not
too.
To do. Follow me, what not to do.
Well, yeah, and I'll tell you, well, I'm not a professional mover, but I literally, because my father was in nuclear power as a kid, we moved every 2 years. And by the time I was my son's age, my dad was like, I'm going to the new place, pack up the house, load up the U-Haul, and meet me there. I was like, what the fuck? At 17, I moved the whole house myself. I swear to God. So, well, we are back on the air. If you guys don't know, SoulGarden.tv has come out with a brand spanking new high-definition human development portal called SoulGarden.tv. It's gorgeous. It's dynamic. It's HTML5. It works on your phone. I'm so excited. It took us forever to build it, and I hope you come on down to TweetTalk.tv because everything is integrated now. We've got our Tweet Talk, we got our SoulMart, we got our music videos. It's a lot of fun. Have you seen it yet, Damon?
I have. Yeah, I like it. Looks awesome.
Yeah, thanks, man. Well, actually, Damon helped on it. Actually, that was a little trick question there just to see how he respond. Yeah. So we got a lot of cool stuff going, and today we're going to talk Prime Health as we always like to, and our topic is fast food that causes a slow death. Yeah. And of course, Coach Perry here is going to tell us his research on this. And joining me, because it's summertime, is my son Miles, who is a semi-expert on fast food. Miles has eaten fast food in nearly every state, right, son?
Yep.
So proud of him for that. So, Damon, where do we start with this topic? Tell us why you picked it.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek because, I think all fast food is not something you should be eating anyway. But this is kind of, I was reading, and there are people that worked for not health food, for the fast food joints, and then they were horrified about stuff in there, obviously. But there was certain items that each one would not eat, if that makes sense. So, like, if you worked at McDonald's or Starbucks, they were like, well, since I've worked there, the one thing I would avoid is this. And this is why, that type of thing.
No. So yeah, this is like bad food whistleblowers.
Yeah. So I mean, we've all worked at a place where we're like, oh God, don't eat this or don't do this or here's the inside scoop sort of thing. That's kind of what this is. I mean, we all know it's all bad, but some are, just downright nasty, so to speak.
Yeah, come to think of it, I have actually waited tables in most major food chains, and I could probably come up with stuff like from Olive Garden to, that you would not eat. Yeah.
No, don't ruin Olive Garden.
Okay.
I love Olive Garden, even though it's not good for you, but I love it.
It's not horrible, to be honest with you. I would say that, if anything, actually it's pretty healthy, and they are very clean. They're owned by General Mills, rather.
Yeah.
So they're like hyper corporate, hyper Mary Poppins testing with everything all the time. There's nothing really spooky that way behind them.
So
I don't have anything spooky.
I was going to say, let's put you on the spot. If you had to avoid one thing in Olive Garden, what would it be?
I actually would avoid this. Unfortunately, I'd avoid the salad. That's what I was going to say. All you can eat salad.
Really? Why?
Because honestly, it's that's the one thing. People come in, they fill up on the soup and the salad. Now the soup is really good. Pasta fagioli is my favorite, for the record. Yeah. But the salad is very oily, and it's. I think the dressing is probably not good for you. That's the one thing that inside, behind the scenes, the waiters wouldn't eat the salad.
Do they put their hands in it? I mean, do they wash their hands and grab the lettuce and stuff like that?
Actually, that's a good question. I mean, I think you're supposed to use tongs, and I think we did use tongs for the most part, Waiters are actually very hyper about cleanliness that way because they just are. They really are, actually. So, no, they don't put their hands in it, but I'm sure that's a possibility.
Yeah, you might have
at a given, probably in a Texas one. Just kidding.
You have that one guy in the back who's just digging his hands in there and not washing and stuff like that, I'm sure.
Well, it's kind of
But,
hard to keep your hands clean. I mean, because you're constantly carrying stuff, and you know,
yeah.
but yeah, but at the end of the day, there's a variety. Just kind of switching the topic. People usually, there's a lot of fast food eating in this country, and the one cool thing about SoulGarden.tv is we have commercials, but we can actually make fun of anyone in front of our commercials by the nature of our commercial plan. So we could actually have a McDonald's commercial right before this show. It's possible. But if just because that doesn't mean we condone it, and we're about to talk about that here today, right, Damon?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So we don't condone any of this, but if you are in a rush and you got to eat fast, then avoid these certain things. That's how we're going to look at it.
Okay, so these are like the top 10 things to avoid, basically?
Yes, and a few of these are from people that I know, firsthand information. So.
Oh my goodness. All right, so we'll have to drum roll this as I screen share and begin our first one. Here we go, number 10.
Boom.
Boom. Sonic Ice. I'll say it out loud.
Okay, yeah, so we'll start with Sonic Ice. And everybody down here, I don't know how they are in California. Sonics are everywhere, and people love to go for ocean waters and cherry limeades. I do too. My kids love it. And everybody likes the ice just to chew on it. But I have a relative that's an insider, and they said that's one of the worst things they have because they have these big machines, and they get trash cans, and they just pour it all into these trash cans and move it around in these wheeled trash cans, and I don't think they always get cleaned all the time. And also, they said a lot of people are handling money and grabbing stuff, and they're putting their hands in the ice as well. And every once in a while, when they actually do clean them, they said there's like 6 or 7 inches of just junk at the bottom of these bins. So that's so
oh my God.
That's just the stuff. I mean, that's the stuff that is there and is making its way to the bottom over who knows how long a period of time. So it is in there. It's just all settling at the bottom. So people are drinking this, eating this, giving it to their kids, and I'm guilty because I do like Sonic. But this girl said that she would never touch the Sonic Ice, among other things. That was just the one thing that she said.
Never touch a Sonic Ice. Son, I know you're a Sonic fan.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you eat Sonic Ice? Do you eat Sonic Ice?
No, they're mostly not in California for the most part. But
Really?
That's true. Yeah, they're not.
more
We
in
have one
Texas.
here where we live, but it's a Texas thing. Miles was saying that in Texas it's like 3 times a day.
Oh my God, they're everywhere. Yeah, they're all over the place. So and people get the big Route 40, the Route 44, Route 66, whatever they are, the big ones. They're huge. They're like 44 ounces, and so so it's a lot of dingy ice, I suppose.
Yeah, that's gross. I will say, I'll share another story then. I worked at the national chain of Chi-Chi's, which also owns El Torito. And those guys will keep their margarita mix in the same type of gross-ass bin. And so when you buy the generic margaritas, that shit is getting pumped up through the ceiling and across the restaurant, into the bar, at which point they're throwing, graffiti in it and serving it to you. So their highest profit margin, the highest profit margin for those restaurants is the margaritas. They're designed to have like the cheapest ass tequila. I mean, I don't even think it's in English. The bottles are pouring in there.
Yeah, plus
that's not true. That's not true. It is in English. I have to be careful. I don't want to get sued by this corporation.
Yeah, right. I mean, but you and me, we probably had friends that have worked these places, and we know the type of, not all of them, but you have those guys that work at these places, and they just don't care. They don't clean it when they need to, or they'll just kind of willy-nilly do stuff, and so I've had lots of friends. Yeah. So.
I will say to toe the honest integrity line that if the employees followed the corporate procedure, it would be extremely clean.
Sure.
So the corporations are extremely concerned about it. The employees, because they're paid like shit, don't care.
Right.
Right. Exactly. So you get what you pay for. Yeah. So that brings us to I guess our number 2 item here. Let's give it a try.
What is number 2?
Or number 9, excuse me. Are you guys seeing that? It's
down.
Einstein Bro eggs, whatever the hell that is. Who are Einstein brothers? I guess that's a Texas thing, huh?
No, I didn't think so. Einstein Brothers. Maybe it's Midwest Texas, but it's a bagel shop.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah,
sorry about that, folks.
Yeah, and I mean, my take on wheat. Wheat will kill you. But Einstein Brothers. Unfortunately, it's freaking good. I mean, all their stuff is really, really good, and I do love it. But everything in there is bad. So anyway, the eggs are not even real eggs. They're like egg substitute with extra chemicals in and preservatives and things like that. And they microwave it right before they hand it to you. And sometimes they said they'll leave the carton out. Like they'll make one and they'll just leave the carton out. So it'll sit out for an hour before they do it again. So who knows? I mean, they're getting a chemical soup substitute of eggs anyway, and it's being microwaved, which is not good for you because it, breaks the food down and irradiates it for you. So yeah, avoid Einstein Brothers eggs, and I'm sure this goes for most of the bagel shops. What kind of bagel shops do you guys have?
We have Noah's Bagels all over the place.
Okay, so a Noah's, Benny's.
That's like a New York chain, I think.
Yeah, I've seen a Noah's, Einstein's, Benny's. I'm sure they all do the same types of things because they all get their same ingredients from the same type of distributors.
I would imagine. The thing about Noah's though is it comes with the Jewish population from Hollywood. And the one thing about the Jewish is they're very clean. Those Jewish people. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. But I would imagine there's healthy and not healthy in any kind of kosher shop.
Sure. Well, yeah.
If there's a kosher shop, you actually might eat healthy. They don't fuck around. That's not where I think a rabbi's in the back cheating.
No, I'm sure you're probably right. They probably are clean. Yeah. And on a side thing, you can't eat the bagels anyway. Oh my gosh. This is for a new show, for another show coming up, but you know how I'm always about the wheat. Okay, well, my mother-in-law here has a book this big on it, and so I've brushed up on it.
On wheat?
On wheat. It's worse than I even thought before.
Oh my God! Like, is it responsible for Genghis Khan and stuff? Tell me.
It's like responsible for half the stuff you go to get prescriptions for, you go to the doctor for. It's responsible. It's unbelievable. I knew a lot about it, but I sat and read a book for 2 days, and now I know a lot about it, and it's just like you can't even eat it. It's really bad for you. And a lot of the stuff that people are coming down with are problems: dandruff, depression, weight gain, is from the wheat, and it's not. And there's other things as well. I found out that 2 pieces of bread will spike your blood sugar worse than just eating a Snickers bar. And people are eating sandwiches and they're going on these diets and they're not losing weight, and that's why, because they keep eating wheat. It just makes you straight fat. Is what it does. And not everybody.
What about white bread? What about white bread? Is it just as fattening?
The white bread has a higher glycemic index than like a whole grain. They're still both high, but the one with the grains is just slightly lower. It's not even really worth it. It's just a little bit better. But
what if you? I know we're off topic, but what if you went to Whole Foods and got their super grain kind of bread? Is it still bad for you?
Yeah, all of it's bad because most of the grains will still spike your blood sugar. It's just the wheat does physical damage to you. It's got all these. It's Frankenwheat because of what they. I read this. They've changed it thousands of times. They crossbred it. They mutated it. This is before they knew how to do GMOs. So this was like Nazi Germany GMOs. They didn't have the science, so they would put gamma rays and X-rays and chemicals to make it mutate on its own. They'd take the mutant offspring and then breed it, and crossbreed it. And so what we have now is not even really wheat at all.
Oh my God! So I didn't even know that. So they deliberately gave it radioactive poisoning for it to.
But they didn't do it on purpose. What they were trying to do was just make the yield go up so they could feed the starving. And what they've done is created something now. They said basically what the majority of the medical system is doing now is just treating wheat exposure is what's happening. And nobody really is talking about this. Yeah, I mean, so a lot of the stuff you're going to get prescriptions for, and there's a huge list of it, is from just eating wheat, period. Wheat flour, which is in everything. Now, the other stuff I'm talking about, like rice and spelt and that kind of stuff, it doesn't have the damage that wheat does, but it does raise your blood sugar. So it's not good for losing weight. If that makes sense.
Okay, so stay away from the bagels and stay away from the wheat.
Yeah, it sucks.
Well, let's move on to the next freaking bite. And that would be, let's see, I'm going to get it right here, number 8. Whoa, that's not a surprise.
Okay, well, this comes...
Right. Go ahead. Sorry, we have to do those cute queer things. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, on the top... McDonald's has really good coffee, but I think what they're talking about are the machines, the lattes, and things going through the machines. This is just like what you just said. The stuff they're pumping it through, they said most of the managers don't even really know how to clean out the machines, and so the underlings really don't. And so there's a lot of mold and sludge that backs up in these machines, and so they're not getting clean. This is from an insider of McDonald's. They said they're not getting cleaned at regular intervals, so they're not following the procedures as much, and so you're getting slime and mold and junk in there.
That is just McNasty, man.
Yeah.
Miles, you're a big McCafe, aren't you, brother?
My mom is more than I am.
Oh,
Really.
careful, son. We could get sued. I was kidding. But no, okay. You don't like those?
I don't like the actual like hot coffee, but I like the frozen ones they have, like the
Like the
iced
one
coffees and
Yeah.
like the whipped cream ones, whatever they're called. I don't know.
Yes.
So those are the bad ones, and the coffee is the good one.
Just so you know. Well, that's
Yeah, because-
okay.
Yeah. So,
Oh.
it's buyer beware. I'm sure.
Yeah.
If you drink, there's some people that drink these like every day. I mean, they just hit it every morning and get McDonald's for breakfast, and they probably do get their cappuccinos, whatever, constantly. Not to mention,
I mean, I've been one of those. I mean, I don't know, when you're working the grind, man, for any office or anything, like, all you live for is stupid shit like your McCafe every day.
oh yeah, I understand that too.
To get out of the office and get it or whatever, it's like, we got to find an alternative, but yeah. All right, let's move on to the next McNightmare. Here we go.
The
Let's see
nasty.
here. McNasty. Whoa, really? Shit!
Oh yeah, okay.
No!
Yeah, this
I like
sucks.
Wendy's chili.
I do too, because when I was trying to eat healthy, I was like, well, it's chili. It's just got protein and veggies and water, and what could be wrong? Okay,
Me
well,
too.
here's
I'm like, it's just protein. It's good for you. It's like $1. It's hot.
Yeah, it's cheap. Okay, so here's the deal about the chili. Is this is from an insider? So this is hearsay from the insiders. They said that the burgers that they don't get served at the end of the day, they've been out. The burgers that sit out too long to be served.
Yeah,
They take them and they put them in a bin. And then whenever they get them, they get enough to make a pot of chili. They take the burgers that have been sitting off the side, chop them all up, throw them in the chili.
Yep.
So
Yep, that's true.
if you're
That's
cool with
called-
that, if you're cool with that, then knock yourself out. But it's old burgers that are being repurposed into the chili.
That's true. I will just say on the corporate's behalf that if the sales, this is what they would say. If the sales were correct, none of the burgers would be not fresh. You know what I mean? Like, so they're always cooking. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just the last batch that night, which is what Grandma would do.
Hey, I understand. Hey, I used to have a smoothie store, and I remember food cost. Everything was about food cost. So why would you waste it? Yeah. Why would you waste it? We can reuse it and just throw some more stuff on it and dress it up. Well.
So true. I have worked for some family restaurants that would take the bread off the table and make croutons. I'm not kidding.
Oh,
I
Lord.
can't remember these restaurants' names, and they would make croutons for bread that didn't get eaten in the baskets, which might have been touched, so that kind of stuff happens.
What you don't know, you don't know, So
yeah, you really don't know. It's I guess you got to just I imagine you just got to spend a fortune or know where you're going.
Here's the thing about like the chili. A lot of guys probably don't care. They'll be like, just give me the chili, it's no big deal. But if you're a little hyper about things like being too old or moldy or nasty, then you might want to avoid these types of things. But I know a lot of guys would be like, I know guys that would say, who cares? Just give it to me.
Well, if you saw a slaughterhouse floor, I mean, I don't even know why you'd be eating meat in the first place. That's a whole nother topic. But the reason why there's antibiotics in the meat is because it's so fucking unclean.
Right.
That they want to make sure nothing grows in it while it's sitting around being chopped up by illegal immigrants off the border slaughterhouses.
That's true. And
which Obama's about to force out. We'll have to talk about that another time, but yeah.
Yeah, hey, we're coming up with new show topics right now.
Every second of the day. Okay, let's move on to our next Grizzly Truth. Son, you ever eat the chili? I didn't ask you. You like Wendy's chili?
I'm not really a big Wendy's fan in general, but everyone has their own opinion, so.
Yeah, I'm not a big Wendy's fan either. Okay, so here we go. Number 6. Oh, well, not a surprise.
Not a surprise.
Another nightmare ice cream story, right? Here we go.
This is.
Okay.
Now, do you guys have 7-Elevens in California, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay.
More than we have hospitals.
Well, 7-Elevens are headquartered here, so the home office is about 30 minutes from here. So they're everywhere, and people get the gigantic Slurpees. This is the same thing as the McCafe and the same thing as the margarita machine. They don't clean it, and they get tons and tons of mold in the little, tubes and things like that. So
It's true.
and
The Slurpee machine is never down, folks. It's never down. 24 hours a day, you can get a Slurpee, which means it's never cleaned.
that's right. And these are all franchises. So the corporate guys will come in, and actually a friend of mine was one of these field guys who goes out and makes sure everybody's following the rules like you were talking about. But one guy's got this gigantic territory, and he's so he might come by once in a while. So during the downtime, I know the franchisees guys, they cut corners and do what they need to do to make things happen. It's all about the money.
And from what I understand, 7-Eleven is a Japanese foreign-owned corporation. They're
Really?
They're not U.S. owned. It's a Japanese corporation. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Headquartered in Dallas.
Headquartered in Dallas. Oh, go to Dallas. That is most honorable place for corporation headquarters. Sorry to anyone. I'm Buddhist and I chant with Japanese all the time, so they don't mind. All right, let's move on to at least my friends don't. If anyone, I'm sorry. We're moving on to the next screen share, which would be the next number 5 scary thing. Excuse me here. I have to do everything. Whoa! I went to 4. There we go.
Oh, okay. This one, yeah, I remember this story. Okay, the BK fish
sandwich. Oh my God.
Now I read this one at multiple different people saying the same thing, that the BK fish, they use a certain vat of oil for the fries, or they use it for something else. And once it hits a certain darkness, they move it over and get fresh oil for the whatever it is, the fries, whatever. And so they said then once the oil's not good enough for the other stuff, they use it for the fish. And then they use it for like a week or something like that until it just basically becomes, super dark. So you're already getting who knows what's in the fish, chopped up cod or something like that, and then it's fried anyway. But now it's fried in old, nasty fries oil. Leftovers. It's like leftovers. Yeah, it's like that. So you're not going to throw away the oil because that's food costs. So they move it over and throw in the BK fish now.
So you don't think that's for flavor?
Oh, I'm sure it is. Hey, the dripping.
Like it adds a little royal flavor to it. Burger King, right? This is now Burger King is actually a British owned and operated corporation. Just so you all know.
Really?
It really is a Burger King. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Interesting stuff. Okay, so yeah, the fish stuff. I'm a little. I mean, I think the general consensus is fish everywhere is suspicious. Period.
Yeah.
Fish in sushi, fish anywhere. Like, you got to be careful. Fish is fishy. And if I know anyone who gets food poisoning, it's fish.
That's right.
Like, always.
Right.
It's always they ate the sushi or they ate the fish. And you're right. Like, who fucking knows what's in these things? Like,
oh my God.
it's like we're talking about the fish tails, the fish heads. Like, that's what goes into these filet-os. Don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. Last time I got food poisoning was about 2 years ago. I was in San Antonio. 10 o'clock at night at a restaurant, and I ordered the crab tacos at about almost 11 at night.
Were you drunk?
Yeah.
That's a drunken order. I'll take the crab tacos and the sliders.
Oh, my God. The next day, I couldn't even move. My wife, Jen had to drive, and I was like curled up in a fetal position.
Oh, my God. Did you ever see that? You ever see The Simpsons where Homer takes home the rest of the sandwich from a party, and he eats it like for a week?
No.
And he gets sick, and it's so funny. He had parasites. It's a good one. All right, so let's move on to the next topic here. Give me 1 second. Here we go. We saw a glimpse of it. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, the KFC barbecue. Okay. This is another, I think KFC is another Dallas corporation. Let's see.
You Texans are killing us slowly. So this is fast food from Texas that'll kill you slowly.
Yeah, they all have corporate options here. Good. Okay, so the thing about the KFC,
no accident.
The barbecue, it's the same as the chili. It's the chicken that gets too hard and stale, and they can't sell it for fresh, so they put it to the side. And they let it sit for a while, and then they chop it up and they smother it in. No, I think they keep it overnight, and then when they make barbecue the next day, they said they put so much barbecue sauce on it, it re-moistens the meat, so you don't even know.
Rehydrates the term, I think.
That's right.
We're going to rehydrate that food and repurpose it for a better reason and a better day.
Right. So you got
I'm not surprised. Well, that's not food costs again, and I love how, like, with these repurposed foods, it's like, they're using oil in the last slide to actually take away the fish smell. And in this case, they're using barbecue to take away, like, whatever.
The crunchiness.
And let's see, I don't know about your guys' KFC, but with mine, this is probably made with mostly the crunchy, because no one orders that shit.
Right.
This is the crunchy. Just so you know, no one orders the crunchy, so it probably becomes KF barbecue. Well, I like KFC, unfortunately, but I always know that when I'm eating a little bit of it, I am, taking away like 9 minutes of my life. I just kind of assume that. Miles, what do you think? Ever eat the KFC barbecue?
I like KFC, but every time I eat it, I just get really bad stomach aches from it, so I just can't eat it.
It's true. We both do. And I fall asleep. Something in the chemicals that was meant for the chickens put me out, I think. All right, so let's move on to number 3. Oh, no.
Okay,
This is
so
a definite... Not popcorn. I thought that was healthy.
no. Sorry, somebody's Skyping here. The thing about the popcorn is, well, we already know it's not healthy anyway because they put all that synthetic butter all over the top of it. But I think this is what they said is whatever's left over, they just throw it in a garbage bag for the night. So who knows how much that is, depending on the size of your theater. And so the next morning, they just take the garbage bag, throw it into the machine, and reheat it. So that's what they mean first showing popcorn.
Oh my God! So that is so. This is really matinee. This is matinee stomach trouble. Is what this is. This is a matinee problem.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's probably not chewy or anything because they probably have preservatives in the oil that they pop it with. Who knows? I've never worked in a theater, so I don't know the horror stories. I have heard other horror stories while researching this. They said that since there's food and candy hitting the ground and popcorn, that they get bugs and you don't really see them because it's dark. You get food on the ground, food and sugar on the ground and darkness, and that brings in like roaches and stuff like that.
Well, I know my son loves popcorn, and we usually get it at the theater. So, but it also gives you a stomach ache, doesn't it, honey?
Yeah, but I like popcorn whenever we can afford it. So.
Oh yeah.
Whenever we can afford it. Thank you, son. Send all sales to soulmart.me. Thanks for letting that out there on food stamps. Hey, the food stamps don't buy the popcorn. We tried.
Hey, the popcorn costs more than the movie ticket.
Yeah, exactly. No kidding. So the irony here, folks, is you may save on the matinee, but you will get sick slowly on the popcorn. All right, so let's move on to number 2 scary item. Oh, egg white delight. No way, but it's egg white.
Egg white. Okay, here's my take on it before I tell you what they do to it. My take on it is a whole egg is way better than just the white because the whole egg has the vitamins, the stuff that balances, the good fats and everything like that. So you should always eat a whole egg. Eating just the egg whites is BS. It's all BS. So what they do with this is they have these little metal little circles that they put to make it a circle, and they have this butter spray, and so they slather butter spray on the stove first, and they plop down these little metal cylinders, and then they slather the butter spray all on the inside of it, and then they put the egg whites in it. So you have like pre-made, pre-constituted egg white anyway, and then so they put all this butter underneath it, and they throw it on there and cook it for you. So you're not really getting anything healthier. I mean, if you wanted to be healthy, you shouldn't be eating it in the first place. So if you think you're doing, it's like trying to be order a healthy meal and say, okay, I want a Diet Coke. The whole thing is not healthy anyway, and so by cutting out doing an egg white, it's just you think you might be eating a little bit healthier when really you're not. So just go for the regular.
No, you know what? We've got to talk. We're gonna have to talk again. But I'm thinking back to your whole. There's no such problem with cholesterol. It's all bullshit.
It is.
And this egg white phenomenon is part of that cholesterol myth.
Yeah, well,
really?
Yeah.
It's all part of the cholesterol myth that people that eat egg whites, they're worried about their cholesterol.
Absolutely, because cholesterol sells statins. But the reason everybody, remember, you too, we've all been grown up to eat low fat. Is that low fat? Well, you need something with low fat. Low fat, because fat makes you fat. That's complete bullshit, absolute bullshit. Last week I went on almost an all-fat diet. It was just fat and protein. It's called a ketogenic diet, and what happens is when you eat healthy fats like eggs, olive oil, real butter, and you eat a lot of steak, you get skinny. You lose weight. Your muscle stays put. You get healthy. That's what happens when you eat a high fat. That is complete BS. It was. I told you this one time before. Back in the 50s, they needed a bad guy for heart disease, and that's around the time all this other stuff has been coming on. The one doctor was paid to come up with the demon, and so they came up with saturated fats. The real truth is it's not saturated fats, it's the trans fats. So, like I said, if you have
the manufactured chemical ones that
yeah,
are being put into, it's not really butter.
right,
I
right.
can't
So
believe it's not butter.
right. So if you're eating raw milk and you're eating olive oil and you're eating real butter, you're fine. It's when they get a hold of it and turn it into Monsanto butter that is going to kill you. So, like the other day, I made like 7-egg omelet. I took a tablespoon of grass-fed butter, threw it on there, and I threw on some lean meat, and that's what I ate. And I had, like water. That's the type of stuff that's called it's called ketogenic. It makes your body turn into a fat burner versus a sugar burner, and those butters and stuff will just kill you. Those are the things that are clogging up your arteries, are the trans fats. So
the
everybody's
things that we think, yeah.
right. So you've been what do you call it? Propagandized into believing that fat is bad, which is an absolute lie. It's a non-truth.
Have you seen this retarded commercial? I can't remember the name of the damn chemical, but it's some new anti-cholesterol thing. It's like Olestra or something. They got this loser wearing an orange shirt, so excited that his cholesterol's going down. Every time I see that, I'm like, oh my god!
You must slap the guy, don't you?
I just want to kill the guy. He's got his little matching gay orange puppy wearing the. Yeah. I'm just like, with the pharmaceuticals,
oh yeah, they got a lot. They have so much money to spend that people look at that and they're like, oh, they just want to pattern after that. Maybe I have high cholesterol. Well, who cares? Eskimos have high cholesterol. They have no heart disease. The only reason they tell you cholesterol, you'll see like an actor in a doctor's outfit, and he'll say, yeah, you need to check your cholesterol. No, you don't. All they want to do is just get you on statins for the rest of your life so they can make the money off of your insurance. That's it. And the statins will blow out your liver, among other things. So it's just a con. It's just a con for them to sell more statins. So my recommendation is eat fat, eat more real butter, eat more raw milk, take your coconut oil. I put 2 tablespoons of coconut oil in my coffee. I cook everything with coconut oil. You put it on your body. That stuff will actually lower your bad fats, and that will actually make you lose weight and make you healthier.
Awesome information. No, I like it. We'll have to cut that out, and that'll be a sweet tweet at one point. Let's go ahead and do our final climactic truth. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Give me just a second here because I do everything here. Here we go. And number 1. Oh, well, I'm not surprised. Yeah, that's not surprising.
Okay,
Owned by Pepsi, by the way. Owned by Pepsi.
There is a gigantic building here that says Pizza Hut. So Pizza Hut's in Dallas as well. So.
Oh, no shit. I think Dallas is conspiring to kill us.
So the thing about the pizza, besides, we already know, the wheat in the bread will kill you. The meats have nitrites and stuff, and the cheese probably isn't even real cheese. It's probably like synthetic cheese product. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. But according to one of the managers inside the stores, this is a manager talking, they're not real clean when they handle the bread, or the dough will sit there longer than it needs to out, or the guys will drop stuff, or they'll have dirty hands and they're handling the dough. So that's one of the things, because the pizza is horrible for you, but now they're dirty with the pizza, so you could have, filthy, unhealthy pizza.
Pizza is, without a doubt, one of the most evil creations by the devil, because it tastes so goddamn good.
Yeah.
Even looking at this picture, I'm wanting a piece.
Yeah, absolutely. This research, the research I'm doing on the wheat, you can make pizza dough out of like almond flour, coconut, and some other stuff. And they said it tastes just like, you can put garlic in it. They said it tastes just like it. You can get real cheese, lean meats, and you can have like a healthy pizza that you can just go to town on, and then don't have to worry about it. So we'll have to come up with I have to come up with a recipe and get that out there, because, you're like me. I want pizza. I love it. So.
Who has that recipe is actually our next show, Iwana White. She is a vegetarian out in Europe. And she, I remember on her some event, she went out for a vegetarian pizza, and they had figured everything out, so you could sin and enjoy it and not hurt. So we'll have to look her up for that. Well, this has been awesome, Mr. Perry. We're very grateful for your wisdom. And you want to give us a sneak peek of what's next week? You've already got your topic picked out, don't you?
Yeah, next week I will be on the beaches of Mexico, so it's our anniversary. So we're going to do sunscreen and beer. How about that?
Awesome. And will you and the missus be sampling this on camera live from the beach?
I might.
That'd be awesome, man. I'll see if I can go live somewhere outside. Yeah. That's really kind of you. I'd be like, number 10.
The top 10 Mexican beers right here on tap.
Yeah, yeah, and we should get some locals and put them in the frame, and it'd be cool. It's gonna be awesome. Well, I look forward to it. I thank you very much as always. And folks, come on down to Tweet Talk TV. You can come and leave a message for us. Also, Damon has some new products coming out in Soulmart soon, which is going to be exciting. And we look forward to seeing you every week. Thanks so much. We'll see you in 7 days. Until then, live, love, be.